But
Okay.
no, this is all good. We got to time it out though, because we'll get into that. But I want to go backwards a little bit because I don't want to get too far behind. So when you're this advocate for like Valve,
Yep.
and you are the only person, like, and sadly, which I guess ironically with your name didn't mean that, but sadly, the only one that I really see diving into this. And because of that, I want to go back to kind of the whole reason you started this spiel.
Yeah.
You preaching this stuff and you enthusiastically going through patents and hopeful and looking towards the future is not a slight on the current state of VR. And I think that's when I see people pushing back, especially the Oculus Quest lovers. It's because we have to somehow tribalize our headset usage here.
Yeah.
If you are excited about the Valve Index, I guess that means you hate the Oculus Quest. I guess so, Bradley, right? That's what it has to mean. But that's not the case. I'm with you fully that, yes, I do want better software. But how much of the software, and this is kind of 2.1, how much of the software do I kind of use but brush off because the value of that software, I'll use a clear example, best example, Sniper Elite, or at least whatever it is, at least I'm not the big, I haven't had the best time in it, mostly from a gun mechanic standpoint of all the games I've played. But I'll be honest, yes, I was a little upset about that, but playing it on, because for some reason, playing with the Virtual Desktop and Revive just wasn't cutting it. I had to buy the Oculus Quest standard version. Yes, it wasn't the best experience to me, but I would have struggled through it to find my comfortability and find the fun. But the hardware comfortability also was a factor in that experience, and I'm like, I'm not really having the best time with the game, and I'm a little uncomfortable right now, so screw it, I'm done.
Absolutely. I think hardware comfort has huge connotations for VR software retention rates. Even myself, right now it's summer in Florida. I am someone who loves VR. I literally have basically a career in VR. But holy crap, I do not want to put on a heavy headset on my face during summertime. It sucks. Like, it's just the way it is. I am excited for hardware to change very fast to become not only more comfortable, but just remove all the friction, please. Like, it will make things better. Things are, especially now that, like, God, I see new headsets, especially from other manufacturers, that they are going about upgrading VR hardware, in my opinion, the wrong way. I would the best example is like throwing insane resolutions just right off the bat to make things better.
Varjo,
Vive Pro 2 is probably the closest example I have right now. So, yes, it's amazing for your eyes to have 5K resolution. Of course, that's great. But you know what is not amazing about 5K resolution? Do you know how much heat those panels close to your face give off? Mm-hmm. Within 20 minutes, and this is interesting. I mentioned this in my Vive Pro 2 review, but sorry, HTC, not really for screwing you right now, but they have a auto brightness adjustment thing going on with the Vive Pro 2 that you can only turn off if you go into a secret file in the Vive console software and change a string, which I did because the auto brightness is weird. Anyway.
How so? Can you explain it? I don't have a Vive Pro 2 and I never will.
Okay. So let's say, Half-Life Alyx, you go out into a area, like an alley, like in the middle of the streets. You see in the alley, it's like super dark, but you're outside and sunlit. Well, if you are like half of your eye is looking at the alley and half your eyes are on the sunlit, the auto brightness takes the brightest part of this display. So it basically will turn down the lighting a lot because they're like, okay, this is a super bright area. Let's turn down the brightness so people's displays do not literally catch on fire. But in doing that all that dark area that Valve has masterfully designed this beautiful short alley area with like head crabs and like trash cans.
It's a horror game, so I get it.
Yes. Yeah, you miss all the details because this auto brightness thing is just trying to do one thing because they threw a ton of resolution at something, and they're trying to compensate for all the heat by lowering brightness like a lot.
That's so I turned that off. Egotistical of the headset, isn't it? To take control of the developer's goal. and completely change your vision on it. Actually, that's super powerful that a headset manufacturer took control of your individual game experience when you think of it that way.
Yeah, and there's no brightness slider anywhere. Like, not in the Steam. They turned it off for Steam VR. They turned it off in the Vive console. Again, this is something you have to change with a text file and a string hidden in the files. Like, this is not something I like when it comes to PC VR, which is like one of its greatest superpowers is this open and just customizability of what you own. Mm-hmm. So, but yeah, it's like this is where I get very annoyed because VR hardware is incredibly complex. It's not, you can't compare it to TVs. It's so different to TV technology. There's so many more like things going on that makes a VR headset better than just resolution, for example. And for me, the more I study hardware, the better I am at reviewing hardware. And it's going to make some people mad because they're not understanding that I'm trying to explain why things are bad about a certain hardware piece. I want to explain why companies that are actually putting a lot of time and effort, even the Quest 2 has a lot of R&D and very genius stuff for their lens designs.
I think your interviews are some of the best out there. Like, no, not dead ass, no smoke blowing up ass. Like, they're long, they're thorough, and they're not face value. They are what I need to know. Well, you're spending a lot of money on these headsets, like your Vive Pro 2. How expensive? I don't know. Like full kit, sensors, old Vive wands, and the
like
headset.
$1,400 for the full kit.
So, do I want to watch a 10-minute video of glossing over, giving me face value, or do I want to watch something that's literally telling me what I need to know to save myself or spend $1,500 fucking dollars? Yeah. It's a lot of money. Mm-hmm. So,
yes.
Sorry, tangent, not blowing smoke breath. It's needed. You do a very good job on your reviews.
Thank you.
But I cut you off there. I'm sorry.
No, I'm glad you bring, like I said, like it's great to have this back and forth because it helps me. Like, the biggest thing I struggle with YouTube, and not just like I was almost getting a tangent there because I revived the Vive Pro 2. I put so much effort into all my like reviewing VR hardware is probably the most stressful thing I do on my channel. It is.
What's your goal when you do that? Like, what is because everyone has different priorities when they review something because it's different people prioritize different things. What's important to you when you're doing your VR reviews? How do you stick to your guns on what's important to you but also provide that value to your viewers?
So first of all, I will not go into the tangents on VR reviews if I put on the headset and I can last an hour without any complaints. That is basically my baseline. But if I start noticing things within 5 to 10 minutes, I am in full on, okay, what is going wrong in this VR headset? There are so many different things. It could be the lens, it could be the displays, it could be the tracking, it could be the rendering, it could be the software, it could be the runtimes, it could be so many different things. I need to figure out what is going wrong. There might be multiple things, which for the Vive Pro 2, there was multiple things going on wrong. So I think I could just say, yeah, this headset, I don't recommend it. Don't buy it. Or I can just list all the reasons why I don't think you should buy it, or you should at least buy a comparable headset that's even better, even though it's 2 years old, for example, and it's cheaper. Like, it's important to me not only to give like very detailed reasons why I think this is not a good product in today's market, but at the same time, I also want to kind of educate people, especially a lot of new people coming to VR, even some of the simplest concepts of what makes VR tick. Like, I think that's very important. I really believe in education. Like, yeah, there's always going to be fanboyism. That's just unavoidable. But if even fanboys come out of my reviews learning something very interesting about how VR hardware works, that's fantastic, as long as they don't spread misinformation about it. But like at the same time, I am so happy when I go into a different Discord, they link my video and they said, wow, I learned something about like vertical FOV or auto brightness adjustments or like stereo overlap, for example. Like, that makes me feel good.
Hit that subscribe button to stay on top of the daily clips, or catch the debates and Fireside Chats live on the main channel down in the video description. See you next time, Space Cowboys.